It's indecent, it's vulgar, it's blasphemous. Gonna ride you till you can't stand up. Come on, let's go down. All right, keep your shirt on. Loveline's meant for an adult audience. Loveline may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion is advised. Here's Loveline with Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla.
Yes. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. Madam Carolla, that is Dr. Drew. He's a board-certified physician and addiction medicine specialist. Tonight, our guest is the love that we find between the two hosts.
Oh, we found it, huh?
Yeah. Okay. I'm going out on a limb and saying we're going to find it.
Okay.
Jars of Clay. Later this week, Duran Duran. Next week, Goldfinger, Salt and Pepper. I don't think they'll be calling in, and I'm not sure where they are. They're too tired to call in. Oh, boy.
These unimportant late-night shows.
They're big fans of the show.
Yes.
All right, and we have to start being brutal with those that disrespect the show we call Loveline. Oh, these damn publicists.
I'm behind you all the way.
Who am I blaming on this one? The publicists? I think I'll go after the publicist anyway.
Or was it the record person?
Record people, publicist. It's all the same vermin, really. It's let me tell you something. We have Drew, stop signing those and pay attention for a second.
Done. I'm listening to you.
They're really two people on this planet in terms of making a living. There are those who actually go out and produce a product, and then there are those who get in between those who produce the products and screw everything up. Here on Loveline, we get to cross paths with a lot of those who get in between. Agents, managers, publicists, or record reps. Decent people, some of them, usually possessing no tangible skills whatsoever, and usually a lot of smiles and handshakes and nonsense. That's why normally I don't like these people. For the same reason I don't like lawyers for the most part. Lawyers just sort of get in between people and screw everything up, and then make some for themselves while screwing over somebody else. It's the same mentality. I don't like lawyers. I don't like car salesmen. I don't like publicists and agents and managers. I don't like all the people that get in between. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of their examples of people that get in between that would be super productive or important to you.
Well, once in a while, there's somebody out there who does a decent job, but that doesn't excuse the rest of them. You know what I'm saying? In general, it's like there's a few decent car salesmen out there. In general, despicable people. Actually, people that sell anything for a living, don't trust them. They just move from one thing to the next.
Right.
And they don't possess any skills themselves, other than to try to fool people into buying stuff. They get in between whoever manufactures the product and whoever wants the product and get a little slice for themselves. It's a despicable way to make a living. That one day I'm going to make a list of despicable ways to make a living. I know tow truck drivers right on there. I know meter maids on there. I've now added garbage man to the list. And dentistry. I got the bill from the dentist today. Oh, boy. Are they getting a cut?
How much?
Oh, it was like $1,600 and something bucks. I could have had the neighbor beat the crap out of me with a broom handle for $10.
How much of that was the nitrous?
I don't know. I was too effed up to really read the bill. No, actually, I didn't check on the nitrous. I told them to give me a break on the nitrous. I said, they go, insurance doesn't cover nitrous. So why not? That's part of dentistry.
Yeah.
What'd I do? Bring in my own nitrous? Where is the nitrous? It's down the hall. All right, we're in the dentist's office. Hey, how does insurance figure what they do cover and what they don't cover?
Adam, you want to be talking about despicable organizations. These are sinister.
Oh, the insurance people? Yeah, I don't trust insurance guys.
They cover
either.
what's essential and what you signed that they covered, what you signed in your contract that they would agree to cover.
Oh, but
it has nothing to do with what you need.
The dental hygienist thing was like $90 a pop twice, for an hour.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that hygienist probably sees $25 out of that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Why don't you read this? This is a fan sent you some email.
No, I don't want to read this, Drew. I'm in a bad mood already. How about you read it? I'll read something else.
Adam.
Yeah.
Adam, you talked about your jacuzzi. I'm going to read this. Your jacuzzi butt water gun. I didn't believe you. This weekend I tried it and it works. It's hard to hold it in, but when it squirts out, it is awesome, and it makes one hell of a mess. Thanks for the great idea. So proud, Adam. I really I don't know.
It's really not something I'm proud of, Drew. I do as I say, not as I do. Please.
Please.
I know there's a lot of young, impressionable minds out there.
If Adam says something, it does not mean go out and do it. In fact, it should be a contrary. It should be motivate you against doing things.
You know, the funny thing is I was on the phone when you pulled that off the email with the pioneer of the extrusion method.
Ray?
No, Chris, actually.
Oh.
But this is not something I pioneered. It's merely something I dabbled in. I wouldn't... recreational enemas. It wasn't something I did full time.
We haven't discussed this in quite some time. Why don't you describe to our audience what it is you engaged in your youth?
Well, I'm kind of scared to do that for fear others will follow in my steps.
All right, do not even consider doing what he's about to describe. It's pathetic. I am amazed that somebody would actually, after the big gasp, we all amazed at this story.
Right.
That anybody would then go out and mimic you.
Is there any danger in this, Drew?
Yeah.
Oh, there is?
Sure.
Like what?
You could rupture, tear. You
could rupture or tear getting in your car. Come on.
Go ahead, tell the story.
Okay. Some friend of mine, we'll call him Bonus because it's kind of his nickname, somehow figured out one night in a jacuzzi after a couple 12-packs that if he put his...
Set the stage. Were you at, you were somebody's parents' jacuzzi?
No. We were up... I'm trying to think if I was there when it was pioneered, but up at a jacuzzi at some fairly well-known country club after hours.
You broke
after
in.
it closed down. I wouldn't call it breaking in. We climbed a wall and hiked up a hill, and there it was.
Okay.
It's a sort of a resort-type club up in the hills, a very prestigious place, and we used to go in there weekends, evenings during the summer after a night of partying. We'd drag a bunch of people there and, jump in the pool, get in the jacuzzi, have a frolicking time. Things that young people do, Drew. If you weren't so busy with your butterfly collection in high school, you may have gotten out and participated in this activity as well.
Not what follows.
Well, okay. You sit in a jacuzzi long enough and you look for places to put the jet. And I guess this guy figured that if he sort of put his feet up on the coping of the wall there and put his ass against the jet, that he could sort of fill himself up a little bit and then get out of the jacuzzi and exhale, as it were, through his ass. Much like the enemas that you deliver on a daily basis at your job.
He
right,
wouldn't actually expel in the pool or anything, would he?
Well, anyway, it's all a blur now, but this was many years ago. But the point is once he figured out, or we figured out that this was possible, it just seemed like the right thing to do at the time,
All of you. Did you impress your girlfriend?
It was a handful of guys, yeah.
Would you bring women over
I know you're going to find this hard to believe. I didn't have a girlfriend.
Oh, humanity. But some of these guys did, I'm sure.
Yeah, some of them did.
If for no other reason than to humiliate you.
Yeah. Yeah, they called it the Big E, and they did it for a while, and it's just one of those. It was a phase. Many people go through their phases. Drew, that's all. I was not the leader of the E-Pack. I just dabbled in it a little bit, but mostly from a self-defense standpoint. It got a little rough out there sometimes.
They'd come after you. They'd become. It wouldn't be really after. It'd be sort of behind you. Behind them, towards you.
Drew, I could tell you even, boy. One of these days, I'll really tell you some stories, but there were some incidents involving that. Yeah. Come on, everyone does that crap, Drew. Drew, I can't believe you never went out and had any fun with your friends. Oh, Drew, you don't even want to know. You don't even want to know what went on over there. Well, boys will be boys. Should we get to the phones, Drew? You've never seen anything like it. I can guarantee you that, Drew.
I'm sorry, but my imagination just... I know your friends. I know the stories about them, and I know how aggressive they became with their techniques.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it was...
Did they have to hold people? They hold one other down and do this?
No, they never held anybody down, but when one got out of the jacuzzi, and another may have been in the jacuzzi, you would see that there would be quite a height difference there, and the jacuzzi being at ground level and sunken in.
Okay.
You can sort of use your imagination when one was standing around. All right, Drew, let's not bring this up anymore. Emma.
Hi.
Emma,
Hi.
what's going on?
I was wondering what was involved in getting the morning after pill, and do you need a parent's consent?
You guys, come on.
Drew's got the giggles.
Get it together.
All right, come on, Drew, pull it together. What happened? Did you have unprotected sex?
Yeah.
Condom broke, or what happened?
No. I was kind of forced into a situation.
What happened? No, can't. Hold on, Emma.
Yeah.
Hold on. This is a heavy call, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Hold on 1 second. Drew, you know what we need? We need a composure call here. We need a lighthearted call, something where you can regain your composure. That's not as heavy. Emma may have had a little date rape here or something, and we couldn't have you bursting out in uncontrollable laughter while she's regaling us with stories of date rape. Brandon, you're 15.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
Hey, nothing much. Just got a question here. I've had a chronic bedwetting problem for my whole entire life, and I'm just wondering what to do. I've done everything. I've been to doctors.
Have you tried the medications for it?
I've tried the medications too.
What have you tried?
I don't know what it's called, but the nasal spray.
Right, the DDAVP.
Yeah.
And what happened with that?
It would stop for 2 or 3 days, and then it'd just go back.
In spite of using the medicine.
Yeah, but then they did, I don't know, some kind of X-ray or something like that, and they found out I had an underdeveloped bladder. And my mother doesn't want me. They say that it's I'll outgrow this. They've been saying this for years and years, at least 5 or 6 years.
There seems to be an anatomic or biological basis to it.
Yeah, but and I want to go ahead and get the surgery for it to enlarge my bladder, but that my mom doesn't want to go through and do that. Is there any way I can?
How do you get surgery to enlarge your bladder?
I have no idea.
How do you do that, Drew?
But they have suggested that to you?
Yeah, they've suggested that. They've kind of suggested that as kind of a last resort because the doctor doesn't want to do the surgery unless it's necessary.
That's got to be a pretty peculiar surgery. I mean, it's not sort of a routine thing that can be done easily.
Yeah, but I'd really like to go and get this done because I'm sick and tired of...
And you've been to urologists, you've been to psychiatrists, you've been to all the various disciplines that deal with this problem.
Yeah.
I used to wet my bed.
Yeah, I know you used to like set an alarm clock or something. And
Boy, like I'm going to get a date after tonight, huh?
Yeah.
I'm just a mess. Hey, Drew, I need some of this cream.
Homoseptine.
Yeah, well, I don't believe I had it as severe as you do, but, you know, what about that? I mean, if you wet your bed at night and you go to bed at midnight, how about setting an alarm for 2 hours?
I've tried that too. I've tried people wake me up.
And what happens?
I go to the bathroom.
And
I go right back to bed, and I wake up late in the morning again.
Oh, what if you try to... Hey, let me give you this suggestion, Brandon. As I do this, I use one of these things. I use it... I have my nap timer. You know, my beloved naps?
Right.
Yeah.
I go to the, Thrifty or the Save On or whatever the, 5 and dime is, and buy yourself one of these little digital...
Egg timers.
Yeah. This is a little timer you'd use in the kitchen. And you can punch in. You don't have to set your alarm, in other words, for, 2:15 in the morning or anything like that. Just after you go to bed, set it for 2 hours. Just punch it twice. Bink, bink. There's 2 hours. Go to bed. It'll go off in 2 hours. Get up. Go to the bathroom. Then when you lie down again, set it for 4 hours or something. See if you can work a little rhythm out with that. I know it's a pain in the ass. It's better than wetting the bed. It may be better in surgery. And then maybe you can train yourself.
Have you tried that sort of thing?
I've tried things like that.
Yeah.
Totally. I've tried the alarms.
What are the medication? Yeah, the bedwetting alarms that wake you up when you start to do it.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Tried that.
I've heard of those.
They suck.
That didn't work
It
at all.
didn't work worth a crap.
What do you do? Just is it come sewed into a sheet or something?
You put like a pillowcase over it, and then it's like 2 metal screens in between. And as soon as you take the big squirt, and just the alarm goes off.
And what happened?
Wakes you up and go wake yourself up and splash your face with cold water and.
Yeah, but would it get you before too much damage was done?
No.
No.
The damage is already done.
All right.
Now, what medication?
And what about during the day? How often do you go to the bathroom during the day?
I guess average.
Average.
4 times a day.
So you can go 4, 5, 6 hours during the day.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then we know your bladder's capable of it, then, right?
Right.
Yeah, and also I'm kind of also a slightly deep sleeper.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Could that also be tied in with this too?
Sure. Have you ever been evaluated for a sleep disorder?
No, I haven't.
That's another way to look at it, is go to a sleep center and see if there's any specific problems. And usually, these days, medications have been tremendously effective in sorting this out, or at least in helping it substantially. I'm kind of surprised. I get the sense that you kind of give up on things rather quickly, get frustrated, and
I'll tell you,
impulsively move along. I don't know.
Everyone's looking for surgery and whiz alarms and... God knows I should have had one of those in high school. Just, not even for sleep.
For your friends.
Just general use, yeah. just to strap on and go to school with. But I'm telling you, just do the math here. If you don't wet during the day, if you pee every 6 hours during the day, and you went to bed at night, and you had alarm go off at 2 or 3 hours, and you got up and emptied yourself out and went back to bed, and you did that again in 3 hours, I know it's a pain in the ass, but just do the math. Don't you think that would work? Unless there's something unless you're dreaming that you're standing on a suspension bridge with a pony keg or something.
You would think there'd be some behavioral and or medication that could be used to deal with this. I would tell them to keep going back and to try the sleep evaluation and keep looking for people who are expert in this and see if you can come up with an answer. There should be a solution to that.
Wait a minute. Something happened to our first caller.
Is that her, Michelle?
No.
Hello?
Were we talking to you before?
No.
Oh, no.
No. See what happens, Drew, when you screw around? All right, hold on, Michelle.
Okay.
We had a call. She had sex. It may have been forced sex. She was 17, and she wanted to know about the morning after pill.
You can get.
She hung up.
She wanted to know, would you had to have parents' consent? I would say not. I don't know that any state has that requirement for a 17-year-old. She can get it from any doctor, any emergency room, any family planning center, and she needs to go now. You have about 36 to 48 hours to use that. It's just a regular old contraceptive pill that you take a certain way. Take 2 or 4 pills a day, depending on what.
Well, let her just call family planning or something and figure it out.
Get the pill, and then also report whatever it was that had happened to you. We never get to hear what had happened.
Right. All right, Michelle, what's going on?
Okay, I was just wondering, how many days after your period do you ovulate?
About 15 to 18.
15 to 18, so...
Yeah, why?
Just because, I just really wanted to know that. I've been wondering.
Why?
Boy, you bad. Boy, Michelle, you're a pathetic liar.
I know. Okay, sorry.
Boy, that is horrible. Let's do a quick Loveline reenactment. Go ahead, Drew. All right, I'll start with the question. I want to know how long after your period you ovulate?
Why?
Huh?
Why?
Just,
Just because.
Just basic ovulation knowledge.
Why?
Michelle?
Yeah?
Why?
Just because I have had a sexual encounter, and about 2 weeks ago I ended my period. So I was wondering if this is the time that I could possibly get pregnant.
You could get pregnant at any time, any day, no matter when you had your period. Do you understand that?
If you hiccuped too close to my hamper, you could get pregnant.
Oh, God.
Do you understand how easy it is?
Do you understand that, Michelle?
Yeah. Well, now I do.
That there are times which are higher risk, and if you could know precisely when you ovulate, which is very difficult to do, and it's something I don't think is appropriate for mass sort of evaluation.
Well, they're getting into that now.
I know. This whole thing.
No, I've been hearing the spots on the radio where they're looking for people to do the test. Well, what's wrong with that? What do you mean, Drew? This is something I've been talking about for a while.
Look,
woman pees into a cup. If it turns blue, she can't have sex, and if it turns pink,
if they perfect
actually,
that,
it should turn green.
If they perfect that, yes, but people should not be. I really don't think that the average person should be thinking that way just yet.
Well, hold on a second, Drew. People aren't. Do we or do we not have a problem with unwanted pregnancies in this world?
We do.
Oh, for Christ's sake! I was just looking at something in the USA Today about I think it was India and their population. And take over. They're going to take over China in terms of country's population. Oh, there's a boy. You show me a country with the population out of control, and I'll show you a bad country. It's India. Like they need any more people over there. The point is this. Nobody's using, or not enough people are using the condoms. Not enough people are using the pill and the Norplant and whatnot. What if we found something that made it easier? Well, how could that be harmed?
It's fine if people would use it properly, but I just don't trust what's available to be used properly. Look, you can't even slip on a condom, can't take a pill every day, can't do very, very simple things. I wouldn't think getting a chemistry set up and peeing into a cup would be something people would likely do before having sex either.
Well, it's not like you got to go down to the basement and fire up the proton projector or anything. They'll figure out a kit. They'll make it easy. It's just one more thing, one more option.
It's fine. Once it's available, I have no problem. I think it will be effective.
Okay, wasn't I just talking about this?
Yeah.
Oh,
but
boy.
I've intentionally not
I am so far ahead of my time, Drew.
But I've been intentionally not encouraging that kind of thing for people because people are prone to use that. Look at Michelle. When can I?
Well,
no,
like that screwball letter we got with the rhythm method there.
Yes,
please.
Yes. It's not appropriate for people to.
All right, sell the hell out of the next call, please.
Why does a man's sex drive go away with methadone?
Sex drive go away with the methadone?
Yeah. Everything else goes away too, but we'll talk about it.
All right. Who's that? The Olive van? Yeah? All right. I'm into Olive. Phone number for Loveline, 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. Adam Carolla, Dr. Drew. Who'd we leave off with? Carla?
Yeah.
All right. Carla, you're 20. What's going on?
Yeah, my husband, he's been on methadone for about 2 years now. And, for about a year now, he hasn't wanted to have sex or anything. I was just wondering how that works.
How much methadone is he on?
I think he's on 52 milligrams.
Is he doing anything else? And
he's been clean for about,
well, methadone is not clean. Believe me. Methadone is just addicted to something else. Just happen to be a long-acting oral form of the same stuff. I hate methadone. It's just
you don't like methadone?
Yeah, I don't like it either.
It's a house of cards. I mean, eventually people start getting stuff like this. They get a lot of physical symptoms. And
then you got to get off the methadone,
which is impossible.
Couldn't we wean him off the methadone with the heroin?
Some people do that, and then they're back on heroin.
I like when Drew gets real serious.
Well, methadone narcotizes you. It blocks your perception of all kinds of things. Pleasurable symptoms, any kind of sensory experience is blocked to some extent by methadone.
What if I took a shot of methadone right now?
You'd go to sleep, probably.
I would?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta get some of that.
No.
Can I get that?
No.
But you drink it, right?
Sometimes. There's a pill form, too.
It's like a little
powder.
I see people take it in like a little NyQuil,
Where do you see that?
Type cup. Hey, don't worry. I'm like Beretta, man. I'm out on the streets.
I bet.
I watch TV. I learn everything from TV.
Methadone is a very, very potent opiate. Stronger than heroin in many respects, and certainly more addictive. And it has physical effects.
Do they gradually lower his dosage with the methadone?
Not people on. There's a 21-day program you can go through where they'll gradually lower it to try to get people off opiates. Almost without exception, people sort of chip on whatever their drug of choice is as the drug is lowered down. I've never seen a sustained success.
Well, what about after a year?
That's maintenance. They go on methadone for people who can't stay off other drugs. They just basically saturate their system with this opiate so they don't go out in the street and shoot needles and do dangerous things. So it contains some of the behaviors, but it doesn't do anything for the addictive disease.
So does he go on it for life now?
Theoretically. But most methadone addicts eventually have stuff happen to them and they have to come off it, and it's a big mess.
Well, what about if he transitioned from methadone to whatever the treatment he would have or should have gotten into as if he was still on heroin now?
It's almost impossible. Heroin.
Why?
because heroin withdrawal is very intense and miserable, and it takes about 5 days, maybe 7 to 10 at the most. Methadone withdrawal is equally as intense, and it lasts 30 to 60 days. And it's just impossible. There are ultra-rapid detoxes available where you can go in and they put you under anesthesia and they can detox you in 4 hours or so.
4 hours?
But you have to pay the full price of anesthesia, and usually people on methadone do not have that kind of money around.
How do they do that?
They basically
suck all the blood out of you and put it through a filter?
No, they basically put a blocking agent in after taking control of your whole system and paralyzing you and putting on a breathing machine. Then they saturate your central nervous system with an opiate blocking agent, which induces a very profound, sudden withdrawal. But you don't have all the withdrawal manifestations because you're under anesthesia. And basically, the detox, the withdrawal syndrome, can be suppressed in a few hours that way. Now, people wake up jonesing like hell. They're craving like crazy, but they are not having withdrawal.
So you can essentially detox from heroin in 4 hours now?
Yeah, with anesthesia.
How much is that?
I think like $5,000-$6,000.
That's nothing. I may do that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, why not? And not that I'm into the heroin, but in case I ever get into it, I'll have this under my belt.
See what it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Stay with the buddies.
Okay, Drew. Dane.
Yeah.
You're 20. What's going on?
I've been seeing this girl now for...
Drew, you don't put that on vibrate, huh?
Pardon?
You're so committed to the show. Drew's pissed. Who paid you, Drew? Hospital?
It's an emergency room, but I had sent somebody to a different emergency room.
Oh,
it's
boy.
the wrong hospital.
All right. Sorry, Dane. What's going on?
Okay. I've been dating this girl for about a month now. And she's got a kid. It's not mine. And she's just really scared to get intimate.
Mm-hmm.
And she's when I first was going out with her, or first met her, she just never stopped talking about her ex-boyfriend, the one who gave her the kid. And now it's just she stopped it as much, but it's just she's afraid to get even close to me.
Mm-hmm. How old is she?
She's 20.
Mm-hmm. How's her past?
Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
What happened with that relationship with the boyfriend?
Well, he took off after he found out she was pregnant.
Before that, they had a stable relationship?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so she kind of missed him?
Yeah.
So she sort of rebounded with you a little bit?
No, it's been over a year.
Oh, okay. But you haven't had sex with her?
No.
And does she look at you as a friend?
No.
What does she tell you the reason that she's afraid?
She says she's not ready, but she says that she thinks she is, but then a couple days later it's back to she's not.
How long have you been seeing her?
About a month.
Probably good instincts. She just had a kid. Here's the situation, Dane.
Kid's 6 months old.
Oh, well. She's ready for college. What's he doing? Still living at home?
Yeah.
Really?
6 months.
Son of a bitch.
Peter Pan syndrome.
Oh, boy. That's it. Give him the house. 6 months still living at home.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I won't go for that
Dependency.
crap. I have my kid out about 3.5 months.
Sure.
Yeah, because you leave him in 5-6 months, he becomes like the older brother from Happy Days. He just sort of hangs out, doesn't do much.
Doesn't
Deadbeat.
even have a job.
He's not working?
No.
Oh, bastard. Now, here's the situation, Dane. She's with this guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's in love with this guy.
Yeah.
Women are very sensitive, and they're not penis-oriented like you and I.
Yeah.
And she gets pregnant, and the hormones run amok. And she gives birth to this child, and the guy splits.
Mm-hmm.
And it breaks her heart. I mean, could you imagine anything more traumatizing for a 19-year-old? You have a baby, and the father of the baby takes off, who you're still very much in love with. Okay, now you meet a new guy. Now here's what you equate guys with. Pregnancy and abandonment.
Right.
Now, the act of sex is the possibility. She equates sex with pregnancy, pregnancy with abandonment.
Right.
So she likes you, but that's the problem. She's scared if she opens up, gets intimate, has sex with you. You understand what it symbolizes here, Dan?
Yeah.
Plus, it's her instincts that got her into that first situation initially.
Right.
And so same instincts that are operating now, and so she doesn't trust herself, which is probably good.
She's being tentative.
Yeah.
God bless her. I hope she holds out for another
Dane may be
month.
another abandoner that she has selected.
All right, Dane, don't pressure her. She's been through a lot. Just be there with her. Let the relationship grow and flourish. And, prove your trust, or win her trust, I should say. and it'll work out. But don't put the pressure on her. Kathleen,
Yeah.
you're 18.
Yeah. Okay. Basically, I was wondering how long I should wait for an older guy to call me after like a first date, because I didn't really do a lot of dating in high school, so I'm not really sure.
How old is the guy?
He's 23.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. He hasn't called me. We went out Tuesday, and he hasn't called me since. And I don't know. I was scared that maybe I kind of pushed him way too much on the first date.
What way?
Well, at the very end, I gave him a hug, and I don't know. I felt like maybe he wanted something more, like, a kiss. And I'm not very emotional. I don't like really touch people or anything.
That is most people I would think would take that as a message that you're not that into them.
What?
If a guy got that kind of a reception from a woman, he might think, oh, she's just not into me. Let's go on to something else. You know what I mean? He might have misinterpreted her discomfort.
Yeah, but if he was really into her and she wasn't rude or standoffish during the date itself, most guys will put in the second call. How did you guys end up going out in the first place?
He asked me after class. He walked me to my car, and so he asked me then.
Where was he walking to your car? You to your car from?
From class.
Oh, okay. He goes junior college?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Man, I don't trust this guy already. What's he driving? El Camino with the gas, grass, or ass? Nobody rides for free bumper sticker on there?
No. He's a really nice guy. It's totally different from like the past guys that I've been attracted to. He's really nice and everything.
So he walked you. What class?
From statistics.
All right. This guy's moving on to a 4-year, right?
Yeah.
23 though. Okay, so he walked you from statistics to the car, and he asked you out on a date.
Yeah.
So he'd probably been sizing you up in class for a while.
Yeah.
Right? Looking over at you, putting his little feelers out. Right? Little conversation here, little nonsense talk there about, I don't know anything about statistics. Drew, give me
Pascal's triangle.
Pascal's triangle, something like that?
Yeah.
Boy, that sounds sexual. I think I may have rented that. All right. So he walks you out to the car. He's got interest in you. He asks you out. You go on a date. You're a little uncomfortable. You've not done this before. You give him a hug at the end.
Yeah.
Have you seen him in class since then?
Well, only once, but he had to leave early because of work.
It's a tough call. I don't really think she should call him. I think if he's interested, I'll tell you what you do.
Okay.
Don't call him.
All right.
But when you see him in class the next time,
okay,
let him know through posture and conversation that it's okay to talk to you and that you guys may go out again.
Okay.
I mean, that you're open to that.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I don't know that he's interested, Drew. I mean,
yeah, I agree with you. I understand what you're saying. Although maybe he just got put off by her. We don't know how she came across.
But like when I used to ask a girl out, we went on a date, and at the end of the date, she dropped an anvil on my foot and then backhanded me. I would still call at least 6 or 7 times.
Right. That was your average date, I suppose.
Right. It was like a Roadrunner cartoon.
Right.
Yeah. All right, Drew. Why don't you sell the next call?
Michael, 15, alleges that his condom broke during sex.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, get another one. Come on. Do a better one.
You want to talk to Lisa? She wants to know if she'll ever get over being molested.
No. How about Janelle? Okay. She's 16, is possibly pregnant, and wants to pierce a nipple. Is it okay? All right, that's good.
Hey, this is Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue.
And this is Donna Yerico from Baywatch. And you're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla
and Dr. Drew.
Ooh. Always a favorite of mine, that kind of, yeah. All right, phone number for Loveline, 1-800-LOVE-191, fax number 310-854-4455. I'm Adam Carolla. It is Dr. Drew, board certified one. Here's a fax. Dear Adam, I'm working late again. But you and Dr. Drew are keeping me company. I was wondering if you could tell the story about the time that you installed a closet in the wrong house.
Oh, yeah.
It would really cheer me up. Thanks. You're the best. What name is that? Maui?
Marie? Maui?
Yeah. Maui? All right, anyway. I didn't know we had so many Samoan listeners. I'll make it fast because I told this story before, but it's kind of funny. I was working at a place called Always Better Closets.
Always Better?
ABC Closets. I also work for A&B Carpets. I figured out that the reason these companies do this is so they can be at the top of the list in the phone book.
Right.
If you're something that starts with an R, you're way down there. Right. They gotta get to you. So anyway, it was a fairly miserable time in my life. My girlfriend had dumped me. I was probably 22 years old, and I worked at this shop with 6 born-again Christians and me. And boy, were these guys born-again Christians. One guy spoke in tongues, although his English wasn't real strong. His tongues, I understood everything he said when he was in tongues, but his English was pretty weak. They carried Bibles with them, and when we got in the van to take off to go install these closets, they would ask for traveling mercy and all sorts of other nonsense like that. It was really tough. Just picture me working with 6 guys, born-again Christians, all day long and having to, load up a van with a bunch of Cortron and MDF and other cut-up particle board and go deliver it and install it all day across town. The only thing you have is the guys you work with when you do that kind of junk. So anyway, nice guys, however, just not much to talk about because of, I loathe religion. And
how about this
they
Promise
love
Keepers
religion.
thing? You haven't talked about that.
Oh, we'll get into Promise Keepers. What is that? Okay, we'll get into that later on. So I'm delivering a closet and installing a closet, and I get in the van, and I'm doing this job alone. And the address is whatever, Otsego Street. And Otsego Street is one street over from Hartsook Street, which is the street I'd lived at for about 10 years before I moved out into an apartment on Otsego Street. And I looked at the address, and I said to my boss, "Oh, that's my street. I know where that is. That's my street." Wow. Oh, what a coincidence. It's just down the street from where I lived, as a matter of fact. I'll go deliver that. And I went to the house, and the problem was when I was thinking my street, I was thinking the street that I grew up on. Right. And in fact, it was the street that I was currently living on, which was just one street over. Uh-oh. And I didn't bother looking at the street name, just the address, because I was thinking my street.
Right.
So I pulled up at the address, which was the correct address, just a street over, and I banged on the door, and I had the tool bags on and the tape measure and the tackle box and materials and whatnot, and a Mexican maid answered the door, and I barged in. Out of the way. I got to install a closet. And she looked a little confused, but she didn't speak any English. And I said, "Closet man, master bedroom, I'll find it." And I walked right past her, and I went into the master bedroom. And I was looking at the plan, and I was pissed off because they usually tell them, "Hey, take the clothes out of the closet." Because you don't want to install a closet, and you open it up, it's packed full of clothes. But sometimes people forget, and it always pisses us off. So what are you going to do? So I start ripping out all the clothes and piling them up on the bed and the shoes and whatever else is in there, and I start tearing out the old shelf and pole. Old pine boards and cleats and all that kind of stuff, and hack all that stuff out, and I start drilling in and putting in the new closet, and I installed the new closet. Now, thankfully, it wasn't a huge job like we've had. It was a medium-sized job. And then I go into the bathroom and install some bathrobe hooks and, this and that in the bathroom, too, which is just made it that much funnier. And for some reason, and I've never had this happen on a job before, the boss said, "Don't just leave the invoice. You got to collect the money on this one." Normally, just slap the invoice down, jump in the van, and drive back to the shop. But this time, collect the money. They should have a check for you. So when I was done, I went to the Mexican maid, and I said, "Dinero," and which I learned from, the strip joints in Tijuana. And she said, no. And I said, money. No, I know you say. I said, I showed her the invoice. Look, come on, I need the money. There should be a check around here somewhere. I started looking around. No, oh boy, where is it? Started looking around. She went and grabbed a piece of mail from one of the stands there and said, held it up next to the invoice. And I said, yeah, there it is, 1155. And then it just hit me. Man, did it hit me. I was so right. Just a heartbeat before this. I was so right. I went from so right to so wrong in just a
heartbeat.
Not even a human heartbeat.
Right.
A rabbit's heartbeat. Right. I went from as right as you could possibly be to as wrong as you could possibly be in just a hummingbird's heartbeat. And then I panicked. And then she panicked. And she had a little infant with her.
Oh my God.
And she got frightened. And she actually ran. to the phone and got on the horn. I don't know who she was calling, the cops, or she was calling, the people that lived at the house at work, or wherever she was calling. And a better man than I would have stuck it out and done what's right, but not me. I put that cordless Makita drill on reverse. I backed out every screw and I ran. Oh. I just took all the crap and threw it back in the van, and I didn't even spackle. I just jumped back in the van and took off.
Didn't put the clothes back. Didn't rehang the.
Put them back on what?
Yeah, you didn't. Nothing.
No.
Did they? And they had no idea who you were.
No.
Oh, you're such a bad person.
I didn't destroy the house or anything. As a matter of fact, they may have even got the bathroom hooks out of it. But I could only imagine her trying to tell the story to the owners who came home to work came home from work at 6 o'clock that evening. What the hell? What happened here? What happened? Some guy, he come in, What guy? He do the closet. What are you talking about? So, and then he takes the closet with him. I'm sure they never quite... I'm sure whoever owns a house
still doesn't know.
Still fully doesn't understand what went on there.
Yeah.
And boy, am I glad. Janelle?
She's sleeping. Listen to that.
Wow. I think her question was, it says she wanted to know about piercing her nipples, but I think the deviated septum would have been a better question.
I am? Hello?
Hi, Janelle.
Yeah?
These are neighbors calling. What's going on over there? You guys having a party?
No, I was calling and seeing if... Well, there's a chance I might be pregnant, and I wanted to get my nipple pierced,
Mm-hmm.
I was just wondering if...
Just out of curiosity, aren't there other things you should be concerning yourself with at the time like this than nipple piercing? Or even better yet, let's say there is a slight problem with nipple piercing if you plan to breastfeed. Could it hurt to wait a few months?
Maybe.
Yeah. Why don't you wait a few months?
Let's just say there's a 1 in a million chance that it could affect breastfeeding.
Or you get an infection, it could affect the pregnancy. I mean, it's not something you want to do to yourself at a time when you need to be pristine. I'm trying to think of another way to say that.
Jason, turn your radio off.
Janelle?
Yeah.
Who got you pregnant?
Friend.
A friend of yours?
Yeah.
A guy?
I'm gonna have to go. My dad's making me get off the radio.
Well, hold on a second. Let me talk to your dad for a minute.
No.
Okay.
How old is your dad?
47 or something.
Mm-hmm. You sure you're pregnant?
No, not sure yet.
Okay.
All right, I gotta go.
All right, don't get your nipples pierced.
Okay, thanks.
Wear a condom.
All right.
Okay.
Morning after pill if it was a couple days ago.
All right, I got the coordinates locked in. I'm going in for an airstrike, Drew.
Right now?
Yeah. I should have a squadron of wild weasels over the house as we speak.
That's quick.
Yeah. Well, we've had some difficulty with...
somewhere out in Maryland, I think.
We're going with Sidewinder missiles, primarily. We got a lot of complaints from neighbors and other houses. One of the pilots of the Amcrill Air Force had a few nips of courage before he climbed to the cockpit. He took out a commercial building on the way in. So we're going to look for more sterile means of elimination these times. Dad's on the phone. Daughter's on the phone. Dad wants her off the phone. Oh, boy. Wants to know about the nipple piercing. 16.
That's important.
Well, you got to prioritize, Drew. Oh, boy. Sean.
Yeah.
You're 22.
Sorry, I had a question for Dr. Drew about ADD.
Sir. Yes.
Okay, I've been diagnosed with ADHD residual type. I was first diagnosed when I was 13, but in the literature I was reading about the reticular activating system and how a disorder in that could cause the ADD syndrome. I was wondering, is that any way related to the reward activation system that you were talking about last night?
No.
It has nothing to do with that whatsoever?
Well, I cannot say it has nothing to do with it, but it's a different system. Reward activating system is basically the arousal system in the brain. It's what keeps you awake, basically. And presumably some elements can be overstimulated, overactivated in some of these hyperactivity syndromes.
At 22, would Ritalin still have any...
Yeah, it can. Oh, absolutely it can. And see, people have to listen very carefully to what I say. I am not saying Ritalin is a bad idea. I'm not saying it can't help adults. I am saying clearly it absolutely does help young people. But what I do say is that in young adults, adolescents and children that have ADD, ADHD, clearly they should be treated with medication because their outcomes are reproducibly better. It's when you're an adult, when the brain is stopped developing, when there's a family history of addiction, which is common in the setting of ADD, that I worry about the continued use of amphetamines. Now, if there's no family history and somebody clearly has the diagnosis, even if they were never previously treated, this medicine can be extremely helpful.
How speedy is Ritalin? What if I took Ritalin?
You'd speed.
I would?
Yeah.
So what do I got to get? I got to get some Ritalin, and you got to get me some Methadone.
Right. Then you'll be perfect.
Take the Ritalin in the morning.
And the Methadone at night. Yeah.
Methadone? Be like Elvis.
Yeah.
And it's all over the counter.
No.
Well, it's over the counter after you phone it in.
Right. Okay. It's not a street drug.
Drew doesn't like it when I say, can you score? But you know what I'm talking about, right, Drew?
No.
Okay. All right, Sean.
Okay, thanks a lot.
There you have it.
Bye.
So I would really feel it if I got hold of some Ritalin?
Oh, yeah. Because Ritalin calms down, or at least makes it more easy to focus, these people that have ADD.
What if I took some Ritalin at about 10 a.m.? Could I go to bed at midnight?
Possibly.
But maybe not?
Maybe not.
Wow, so it's real speedy.
Yeah.
And what about Methadone? What if I took a shot of Methadone before I went to bed?
You'd feel it the next day.
You know what?
For sure, yeah.
So I'd have to get right back on the Ritalin.
Right.
Okay. I need something in between for the afternoon.
Exercise.
Exercise?
Yeah.
That sounds like an effort.
Yeah.
I don't want to change my underwear. I don't like to exercise in the middle of the day. I got to put on a new pair of underwear. I'm thinking about...
That's never stopped you before.
I'm thinking about some like Prozac or something in the day, just sort of, level me out a little bit.
Sometimes.
Help the demeanor. Just help me cope a little. Okay, so Ritalin in the morning, Prozac afternoon, and Methadone at night?
Yeah.
Okay, I got my plan. We'll be back.
Hi, this is Nev Campbell, and you're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Yes, you is. Phone number. No, forget about that. I'll tell you that when we come back. That'll be in about 10 seconds. Loveline, Adam Carolla, phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. Jars of Clay, Duran in later on this week. Drew, you wrote down Promise Keepers.
Yeah, for you to bring that up.
I don't know much about the Promise Keepers, and I haven't really been following the news too much lately. I hear it's a bunch of guys get together, a bunch of religious guys get together and talk about bringing family values.
Yeah, basically putting the family ahead of their other sort of more traditional male-oriented priorities like career and that kind of thing.
Oh,
and
all right.
What I find very fast, first of all, I think it's a great idea. What the hell?
I find fascinating that people have a beef with this.
That's what I find fascinating, too.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Oh, good.
I mean, it's a tremendous idea. How can you argue with guys getting together and behaving better? I mean, you and I talk about this all the time, that guys, you call it the putrid core. I mean, guys have potential to be...
I do?
Yeah.
What putrid core?
That's what you've always said. You said men have the same putrid core. You've said that.
Men have a putrid core?
You have said that.
All men?
They have potential. They have that about them.
Squirted the last of my putrid core out of my ass in high school.
With the E group.
Right. What's that?
But the point is that men have because the society is so male dominated, they have the opportunity to sort of act out in ways that they're not healthy for relationships, not healthy for families. And here's an organization saying, no, we're going to be accountable and we're going to reprioritize. I mean, how can you argue with that? They do, though.
Well,
the feminist groups are arguing with it.
Well, they're jealous because they want to be men. That's really what's going on.
I think
with these feminist
you know what I
groups,
think it is?
please.
I think anytime you get...
They don't like a big group of white guys, predominantly white guys, to get together and talk about issues concerning men.
But it's scary, isn't it? Because it could go wrong. It could go, it could be a very powerful group that could go in a weird direction.
Here's the situation, and here's my belief in the current political climate. If you are a minority or a female, you have the right to gather and discuss issues. If you are not a minority and not a female, and you gather to discuss issues, you're planning a war. It's basically the way people look at it.
Yeah.
And listen, religious white dudes should not be trusted. Their track record ain't real good. I'll tell you that. But if a bunch of guys want to get together and figure out ways to be better to their families, God bless them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I support it 100%.
I don't know why someone would have an issue with this. I think it's a religious thing or something.
Or maybe we don't know. There may be issues about it we don't know.
Well, they have. Well, because they're part of their policies, I believe, are they're not into gay relations, and they're not into they're into women's roles and that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe they are. It's been alleged.
Oh, you mean you think this is one of those media spins?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen, they get together and they say, look, we're a bunch of religious guys. We frown on homosexuality, and we think women should stay home with their kids, and,
Not that they're saying men should stay home with the kids more. It's fundamentally what they're saying.
Okay.
How can you argue with that?
I don't know how you can argue with that. Everyone has a problem with everyone these days. What the hell? Why do I care? Get together, take care of your kids. I don't know why this is such a bizarre notion. I don't know why you have to have a rally to do that, by the way, but it's a sad state. And here's the bottom line. Most of the guys that are attending the rally aren't the guys you got to worry about.
Right.
So it sort of takes care of itself.
No, that's true.
It'd be like the Crime Stoppers rally.
Right.
Let's get a whole bunch of people together to stop crime. Well, everyone who showed up at the rallies, meanwhile your house is getting robbed by the people who didn't make the rally.
Right.
Do they have a Crime Stoppers rally?
Not that more.
I had to start one of those. Mike, you're 24.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm well, thanks. Hey, this is a question for Adam. Nothing but love for you, Drew, but I just don't... this is for Drew. Nothing but love for you, Adam, but I just don't think you're going to identify with me here.
All
right. I'm a second-year law school student, 24 years old. I'm a virgin by choice. I've been really socially active all my life. And... long explanation for this one. Never masturbated either, so I've never had a.
You can be involved in a group called Sperm Keepers.
What is the long explanation for?
Well, okay. When I was like, I guess 12, 13 years old, a bunch of the neighborhood kids. I grew up in Seattle. A bunch of the neighborhood kids. One of our friends that was a girl. She got pregnant, and anyway, then another kid's older brother got AIDS, and anyway, we're all sitting around at this. I'm not really born-again Christian, but my family's really, really born-again Christian, and so I was with all my buddies at this born-again Christian, whatever they do when they get together. And
you were how old?
13.
Okay.
12, 13.
And
so they challenge everyone to stay, wait till they get married to have sex, and so we all made this little pact, and 4 of us have really stuck to it. Actually, the other 3 are married. I'm the only single one.
Oh.
And then my dad, I went home and told him, that we'd all made this pact, and he has a law firm in Seattle, and he said, all right, here, I'll make you a deal. If you, not only do you abstain from having sex, but if you, no Patton the Robertson, jerking the gherkin, whatever, if you abstain from that first year, I'll give you $1,000, second year, $2,000. And anyway, so now it's still kind of this bet that I have with my dad, and then every year, we go somewhere and spend the money.
And it goes up by $1,000 every year?
Yeah, I'm up to 14 now, something like that, yeah.
$14,000 a year for not masturbating.
Still chump change.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take under 14 just to make it to this weekend. I'm in a higher bracket now. A few years ago, I would have done that.
Well, hey,
holy mackerel!
Interesting story.
Well, yeah, my dad and my relationship was a lot like that too. When I was 19, he said, "Hey, your stepmom wants you to leave the house. All right? Okay, Dad.
Bye.
See ya." Maybe there's a whole part about abstaining from masturbation and some money involved there. We never really did get to that part of the conversation.
I'll bring it up. Maybe you'll, drop a coin on you.
I was thinking about your dad's reaction to the details article the other day. And the therapist's job is to hand out frustration, optimal frustration. I thought maybe he may be playing a little game with you.
Oh yeah, he's playing me like a fiddle.
Yeah.
All right. Oh boy. So, wow, this is really one of the best calls we've ever had. I want to say that.
Glad to please you.
So your dad has offered to give you $1,000. He's put a bounty on your scrotum.
Something like that, yeah.
He's offered to give you $1,000 a year, each year that you don't masturbate, from the age of what?
Let's see, I guess it's No, I get 12 this year. That's right. I get 12 this year, and so it must have been. And I'm 24, so it must have been when I was 12 years.
How are you doing?
Hold on a second.
I just don't know how he is.
I could just see him, his friends come over. He's got the surround sound and entertainment unit. Hey, Mike, where'd this, Jack Money? Jack Money? What's that? You know how it is. You don't masturbate and your dad gives you a bunch of money? Oh, my God. This is, it's bizarre, but it's brilliant.
Yes.
It was a great conversation piece through high school, In fact, all my buddies knew about it, so...
Wow, that's awesome. See, at the end of the year, I would owe your dad, like, the $22,000.
Yeah, I was, I love your stuff, Adam, but I just knew you weren't going to be able to identify with.
No, but I still, it's. I'll tell you what this is to me. This is like me watching a concert violinist. I don't know how to play a violin. I don't even know what he's playing. I don't know what it's called, but boy, do I appreciate it. I really can appreciate this. So,
well, thank you.
All right, so you haven't masturbated your entire life?
Never had an orgasm while being awake, actually.
Uh-huh. But I had a couple of wet dreams.
Well, yeah,
I'd knock $500 off for the wet dream.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely puts me into a different bracket or something.
And how many of those wet dreams you had?
Well, see, it used to be, every 2 weeks, every now and then, 2 nights in a row or something like that.
2 nights in a row?
Never more than, yeah. That only happened like once or twice.
All right,
I myself was quite amazed.
Let me explain something, Mike.
Yeah.
I have had sex, and I've had a wet dream.
Yeah.
Wet dreams, it's better. It really is.
So it's worth the $14,000 to hold out, is what you're saying.
It is, because when you're having the wet dream, you're sleeping with whoever you wanted to sleep with. You know what I mean?
And when you're sleeping with someone, you got to sleep with the one that's there, right? Unless the lights are off, and then you could probably.
Right. Then there's the whole. There's a lot of stuff that comes with it. A lot of baggage.
Adam doesn't like the whole person aspect of that.
Sure.
Yeah, it's like
person
they
there.
want to be called by their name and stuff. It's horrible.
Yeah, I got a buddy that writes their name back on the wall behind them. That way, you can.
He didn't make it into the group. He didn't make the cut.
No, well, he wasn't part of the original 6. So.
Okay, so what is your question now?
Well, I'm wondering, now it's been about 5 months since I've had one, and I'm thinking maybe this is a use it or lose it policy. Maybe it's like a cow. If you don't milk it for, 6 weeks, it quits giving milk or something.
Well, it can, I mean...
Well, you're 24 now.
Yeah.
Production slows down a little, doesn't it? It's not like when you're 17.
Yeah,
is it, Drew?
it's down a little, that's right. And it does tend to be... In other words, the more you use it, the more it tends to stimulate, and the converse does tend to be true a little bit.
Oh.
Are you on any medications or anything like that?
No, not at all.
You're otherwise physically okay?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. You got a lot of energy, Mike?
Hey, man, let me tell you, law school is the perfect place for me because I sleep like 2 hours a night, and I can study. I mean, I'm probably going to finish law school up in 3.5 years, which is kind of, not very often heard of. I know you hate me because I'm a lawyer, but I'm going to be a good lawyer.
All right. Yeah.
One of those, dicks. Can I say that?
Well, okay.
Well, whatever. Right.
Look, anyone who's never masturbated by the age of 24 can say the F word on the show, as far as I'm concerned. All right, Mike, you're fine.
So
you know what it is?
He's more than fine.
God wants his cut. You got to slip a 50 under the pillow when you go to bed at night.
Is that right?
Really, you're $12,000. When is your dad going to give you $12,000 this year if you don't masturbate?
Oh, it's at the end of the year every year. It's kind of well, we used to go to New York for...
You wonder if one time the dad's going to go, Mike...
Yeah. Listen, I never thought I'd say this,
yeah, but it's $20,000 now, and...
Plus, Mom's getting pissed because she wanted to have the cabinets reskinned in the kitchen there, and it's all going to Jack Money now.
Nah, he's all right.
Yeah, I'm sure he's fine. Oh, these lawyers making so much money, they're actually bribing their kid's penis. Imagine having that kind of money.
It worked.
Hey, let me tell you, if I get a bunch of money, that's what I'm going to do with my kids.
By the way, if somebody asked me, without having spoken to Mike, I'm planning about doing this, I would have chastised them, roundly confronted them for being abusive and inappropriate, and how ridiculous an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Worked perfectly in my case.
I'll tell you got the triplets, Drew?
Yeah, I'm putting money aside right now.
Yeah, let's see. Oral sex for Paulina. I think you'd have to work that one out. I'd give. I don't have a daughter. If I had a daughter, I'd give her $1,500 a year.
Sure.
Not to have oral sex.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, work a whole menu out. Like you get crabs, you owe me $400.
How would you prove this?
I think I get a polygraph test.
Okay.
Have a guy come in from the FBI and sit him down
every New Year's Day.
Well,
Happy New Year.
Let's be totally realistic for a second. They have equipment you can go buy at these spy shops now. They're basically, you can tell if someone's lying, couldn't you?
I don't know. I'm not familiar with that.
Well, they have this technology in place. And certainly in a few years, when I have kids, or your kids get old enough, 10 years from now, 15 years from now.
It's like the Jetsons.
Right,
Elroy's, tell me your story in front of the screen here.
Right, so on New Year's Day, every day, you sit them down and you hook them up to the polygraph, right?
Yeah.
And you run down your list, your menu. And,
how intrusive, though. How intrusive for the kids. You really could talk about your snake in the can theory. You could really get a reaction to that kind of intrusion.
Yeah.
They really just, hey, the polygraph machine just start going off the map. Sorry, Dad. That's the way it goes.
I'm going to give you $1,000 a year for each year you don't masturbate. And it keeps growing.
By 1,000 every year.
Well, there's... What about inflation, Joe? You got to figure out penis inflation. Oh, my God. Like I said, I kind of wish I was involved with that, but then I realized, no, I'd owe money. Lisa.
Hey, guys.
You're 18.
Yeah. Well...
Geez, I wonder if that'd work for virginity.
Yeah, that's the
well,
point.
actually, it worked for him.
Yeah.
Although,
well, it's interesting that they had to include.
But he went for the masturbation and the virginity.
Yeah, which is probably what, indeed, if you can control.
That would drive you to have sex.
No,
wouldn't
it
it?
Though, because if you could manage the impulse not to masturbate, your sex drive would kind of go down.
Wow, he is like a ninja. Can you imagine that kind of concentration?
I wonder if it affects
like
his discipline at all.
A Shaolin monk. Oh, this man could walk on coals. He really could.
You were that man, Adam.
Yeah, I wish I had that kind of control.
For a week or two, even.
Please. Lisa.
Okay, well, I've been in a lot of crappy relationships, and I was molested when I was younger, so I kind of figure that that's the reason. But you had said earlier, Drew, like in some other shows, that guys can tell when you've been abused.
Yeah, abusers have radar. They have some sense.
It's like I have a big green dot on my head or something.
Yeah, it's some pheromone you put out that the people that even themselves don't even know they can be abusive. Render themselves abusive when they get involved with you and know you to be a good candidate for it. And how subconsciouses talk that way, I don't understand.
So is it... My question is, like, am I just going to always just attract crappy guys to...
You're going to attract them, but you could also attract decent guys.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on a second, Lisa.
Okay.
Here's the rule. If you were abused and you have not recovered from your abuse and you've not dealt with your abuse, then you're like a homing beacon for the vermin of society who want to prey upon you. But if you were abused and you take care of the business of the abuse and do the therapy and do the work involved, then that sort of douses your beacon.
Right.
You don't put it out there anymore. Even though technically you're a victim of abuse, practically you're not giving it off anymore.
Well, I haven't gone to therapy, like to a psychiatrist or anything, but I feel that I've pretty much dealt with it.
Yeah, everybody,
what happened?
Everybody we talk to says that.
We'll tell you whether you dealt with it or not. What happened?
It was about when I was 11 years old. I was molested twice. Once more mental abuse, and the second time more physical abuse. When I was mentally abused, it was mostly by my mom's ex-boyfriend. Well, her boyfriend at the time.
In what way?
Like, if I one time I came out with lipstick on or whatever, and I was like 11 years old or something, and he says, "Oh, so now you think you're sexy," or something like that. You just always had to say something. And like one time he actually like jumped on me and gave me a hickey on my neck. Well, then a while after that, I was molested by a older boy. He was like 15 or something, and he like forcibly kissed me and touched me and that type of thing.
Any oral sex?
No.
Where's your biological father?
No penetration or anything?
No penetration.
Where's your biological father?
He lives pretty far away.
When did he take off, and why?
Why? Oh, my parents got divorced when I was younger, and...
How old were you?
8 years old.
8. So.
They got separated when I was 7, but divorced when I was 8.
And why?
Just they couldn't. My parents couldn't. They would fight all the time, and
horrible fights.
I was I was really young, but not too bad.
Well, something's up with your mom, obviously, if she's bringing home a hickey boy for the kids.
This is more about the more general issues of having lived through dysfunctional parenting or dysfunctional relationship between the parents, the dad leaving, these predators coming in, and then her becoming a decent victim. And even then she's able to sort of fight off. The guy was not able to have sex with her. I'm sure she fought the guy off because she's not an absolute victim.
Well, I don't want to trivialize what happened to her.
No, not to trivialize at all. But
wait, hold on. I am going to trivialize it. Let me explain conversation, Drew.
Yeah.
When someone says, I'd love to help, that means you're not getting anything out of them. And when someone says, I don't want to, they always end up doing it.
I see.
Because I've never really thought about this, but I would love to means I'm not doing it, and I hate to, but I'm going to do it.
But I have to.
Just means you're going to do it. Yeah. The guy kissed her. He was 15. He wasn't 45.
Yeah.
There was no oral sex. There was no penetration. I'm sure it was traumatic, but not a life-altering.
That's not the issue.
Thing. No, I don't believe that is either.
But indeed, she has been victimized. She is a good victim. But there's opportunity for her, I'm sure, to have decent relationships. The problem is going to be for her to see the guys that are worthwhile and then not sabotage the relationships when she's in them. She's going to experience them as boring and even possibly depressing. And you're going to have to sit tight with these relationships that don't seem as comfortable to you. The ones that are comfortable to you are the ones where the guys are kind of abusive and not so available.
Okay. Oh, we have many good calls. I was just thinking of a little Loveline menu here on line 1. We have Robert's taking 3 different medications. What are the dangers of combining them? Line 2, we have Emily, had a kid a year ago. Now she hates sex. Line 3, we got Lisa.
We just talked to Lisa.
Oh, we just did. I'm really on top of my game. Line 4, we have Jason. He's got a story to share about a friend who gets off dry humping the bed. Now, see, this is my favorite of the bash. Number 5, PJ almost never comes. What can you do to solve this? They tried everything. And here's another titillating one. Jessica is 15, slept with a 28-year-old guy. He's married. He still calls her. Help. All right, so I think we'll go dry hump and then to Jessica with the older guy.
Okay.
All right?
Yep.
All that when we come back.
Hi, this is Victoria Jackson, and you're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Oh, who was that?
Victoria Jackson.
Oh, I thought that was Victoria Stepstad.
Oh, right.
Stilstead. My favorite big blonde playmate of the year. Jeez, I ran into somebody said he was, or she was chaperoning Victoria, running around doing a bunch of parties or something. Who the hell was that? Oh, boy. Anyway, what a big ball of Swedish fun. Remember her, Drew?
Yep.
Just 6 foot of blonde dynamite. All right. Yeah. I'll talk to Jason. Jason is 20. What's going on, Jason?
Hello?
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
Okay, so this is what happens. We all go to this party, right? And we booze and, do this and that. And they're like, and then we all end up coming home alone. So, we're all still boozed and we're sitting around. We're in the dorm room. There's 10 of us. And we're sitting there and we're like, what do we want to do? And everyone's all, we're tired. And some guys are like, I'm just going to go beat off, go to bed, fall asleep 2 seconds. So we're like, all right, sounds good. And then I don't know how we got on it, but one guy starts talking about, how he can't beat off with his hand. It doesn't work. He has to, have sex with his bed.
Mm-hmm.
So, we didn't know if this was normal. So, being the good friends that we were, we offered some advice and stuff. And, we took him in the shower, threw him some conditioner and stuff and said, go have some fun.
No pressure there.
What?
Yeah. Watch the Prel, by the way. I've heard that can be painful.
So then when he starts screaming, dude, there's not enough friction. So we throw in a washcloth, and he's all, that's a little bit better. But then next thing we know, we see him run across the room in his towel, jumps in his room, closes the door, jumps on his bed. A little faithful, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So we have no idea if this is normal or what.
Mm-hmm. Did he bring that bed with him from?
No, this is the worst part. It's the dorm room, and someone had to sleep on that bed next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're bums.
You have to take a single jerk and smack it once, like you're going ice fishing or something, just to crack it, just to loosen it up enough so it'll form to your body when you lie down. Otherwise, you just jump on it, bounce off it, right onto the floor. Just roll right off the side.
I don't know that this indicates anything specific.
I had a friend who used to hump his beanbag pillow.
His beanbag pillow?
Yeah, you know those big beanbag pillows?
Yeah.
He actually would unzip it. You know, they had all those little balls of styrofoam in there, and just work it.
Well, we had this other guy.
If you think about it, not bad.
He took a cantaloupe, cut a hole in it, and put it in the microwave and make it all warm and stuff. And did that.
Yeah.
That was messed up, too.
Right. Yeah, the thing that was really messed up about that, he's still in the store.
All right, Jason.
All right, Jason. Yeah.
I know they had dorm rooms at junior college. Do they?
He's not at junior college. It's state, though.
Yeah.
Jason? No, he hung up.
It's gone.
Yeah. Got to be going to a state school.
Yeah.
Well, you got a lot of free time over there. Jessica,
Yeah?
you're 15.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Okay, about a year ago I started liking Polynesian guys, and then it got to a point where I started liking really old Polynesian guys, and then now I met this guy.
Like Duke Kamehameha?
A what?
Okay.
Anyways, okay, because I
went through a Polynesian phase, too, didn't you, Drew?
Yeah.
A lot of grass skirts and pineapple.
That was late 60s, early 70s when that was the thing. All the apartment buildings were being made like Tahitian apartment buildings.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think it was at it had like they all had like the shields out front of them, and they had palm trees.
Big crossed spears with a light behind
It
it.
was sort of a Doc Tari meets Blue Hawaii.
Right, and it was the thing. I mean, we just discovered the specific.
Yeah, I wonder what the hell that was. All right, anyway, what's going on, Jessica?
It was Tahiti, really was the thing. Everything was Tahitian themed.
Yeah. And there you are driving down Oxnard Boulevard in the valley.
Right.
And it's the King Kamehameha lair, and it's like, now it's a stucco pile of crap is what it is.
Lava rock walls.
Lava rock, yeah. There's weird lights behind the shields on the front. What the hell was up with that? All right, anyway.
Okay, well, and then I started to have a crush on this boy. He was 18, and then I met his uncle, and his uncle was 28. And then me and his uncle stayed friends, and his nephew went back to California, and then it turned out that one day his uncle drove by and said, "Do you want to ride home?" And I thought he was really going to give me a ride home. But it ended up we went to some hotel, and it just sort of happened, and we had...
It didn't just sort of happen. He took you to a hotel.
Well, I don't know. I was like, I don't know. I just got turned on because he's really cute, and then...
Is he a Polynesian guy?
He's Tongan, yeah.
He's what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old were you when you first had sex?
So that was just 15 also.
That was the first time?
No, it was with someone else, but
what's your nationality?
I'm Caucasian, white.
Why'd you get into Polynesian guys?
I don't know, because...
Why'd you get into guys that are twice your age?
Oh, I don't know. Every time I see one, I'm like, oh, they're so cute. My friends are like, you're like old men. And,
How many Polynesians are there? Where are you?
Salt Lake, Utah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot, actually.
Yeah, it's a lot of Polynesians there.
What?
Oh, yeah. You can't go 10 feet without running into a Polynesian restaurant, Drew. All they got is that pineapple chicken over there.
Poo-poo platters.
They got the poo-poo platter. Drew, you're serving that up at your place, aren't you? All right, so, Jessica, why are all the Polynesians in Utah?
I don't know. They have family and stuff. Everybody's related. I have no clue.
Jessica, what's up with you that you would need to be with these older guys? These guys are... You understand that this man's behaving in a criminal fashion. Do you understand that?
Oh, I know that, but he's
Where's your dad?
my dad is in Montana.
How come he's so far away from you?
I don't know. He's a deadbeat. Doesn't pay child support.
How old was he when he left?
Before my mom had me.
And what's your mom up to these days?
Nothing. She's in the kitchen doing dishes right now.
What kind of guys does she bring around these days?
She's a lesbian.
There's a recipe for success. Oh, boy. All right, Jessica.
Well...
Yeah, but just listen to me.
Okay.
You little tiki queen. Here's my advice. You're heading for trouble. Just settle down, Drew. You understand that, Jessica? Now, you could marry a deadbeat guy who's going to get you pregnant and leave, and then you could turn lesbian. and you could follow in your mom's footsteps, which you most certainly will, if you don't change about now.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Well, that'd be the best thing she could do.
Is do what?
Follow in her mom's footsteps.
Go lesbian?
Yeah.
What about going lesbian? Any good-looking Polynesian chicks around there?
The real outcome is she could. Let me just think of what could happen to her.
All right, Jessica. Here's your job.
Okay.
You're 15. Your job is to finish high school without getting pregnant. End up with a degree and a empty belly. Do you understand?
And a way to support yourself.
You're heading down you're on a very slippery slope here, Jessica.
3 years, no more sex, okay?
Hey, Jessica, I'll give you $1,000 a year. Hey, Drew, come on, put you down for $500. I'm sure it'd be a write-off.
And all the Jessicas. There's where the welfare money is.
Adopt a hymen. There you go. The adopt a hymen. Yes, this is a brilliant idea. Promise buyers. Forget about the keepers.
Well, we've always said the money should go to supporting appropriate behaviors.
This is brilliant. All the money we're currently pissing away in the welfare system, here's what we do with it. We get hold of 12 and 13-year-old girls in troubled houses and environments. We give them $1,000 each year that hymen is intact after the age of 13. This is brilliant. What a beautiful society we'd be living in.
It would be like Mike.
Right. Yeah, but like Mike.
Mike the superhuman.
Oh, right. The lawyer that doesn't masturbate. Imagine that, a lawyer that doesn't screw people. A first in his profession. All right, Jessica, listen. You're not pregnant or anything, are you? Okay.
Sure.
Stay away from this guy. He's a criminal. You understand?
He doesn't care about you.
I just want to know how to tell him because he calls me every time his wife leaves for work.
Well, tell him your mom found out.
He lives right behind me.
Tell him your mom found out.
And she's thinking about telling the police.
Huh?
That's all you need to do. Tell him your mom found out and she's thinking about calling the cops.
Okay.
All right?
Please.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
All right. $1,000 a year.
All right.
All right.
Need a better name, though, than Adopt a Hymen.
Leg crossers.
We'll think of it.
Yeah. I have to come up with something good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hymen bounty. What do I call it? Hymen bounty? There's got to be something. I'll tell you. Think about the money that we could save as a society if we just paid $1,000 a year to all girls in troubled families who hymen have a doctor check for the hymen membrane every year after the age of 13.
And then your polygraph test.
Right, and the polygraph test. Be the best $1,000 we ever spent. Hey, that would be fine with me, by the way. You kidding? I spent a fortune in taxes. I can't even get my goddamn garbage picked up. I'd be glad to give it to some troubled chick to keep her virginity.
Yeah.
Lee.
Yeah.
17. What's going on?
Well, I think I may have a cancer in my brain.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. This is heavy. Hold on a second, Lee. We got to go to break.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just saying that because this sounds like a pretty heavy call.
Yeah.
Well, what makes you think you have cancer?
Well, I see like white dots, and then I'll be driving in my car, and it'll sound like something just hit the back of my car.
Mm-hmm.
When I know nothing could have hit the back of my car.
It sounds like that?
Yeah. Huh. All right. We'll get back to Lee and his potential tumor after this.
Hi, folks. This is Adam West. You know me, I suppose, as Batman Don't Tell Anyone. You can help make the world a little safer by listening to Loveline every night with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Boozum. No. Boy, Mike, you are not on your game tonight. All right. Forget the phone number. Forget the fax number. Engineer Mike came up with High Mentors.
High Mentor Society.
See, it's like Hymen and Mentor. Yeah, the High Mentor Society. This is where I like Adopt a Hymen. We get celebrities. You know, out here, like Bette Midler buys a little piece of the Ventura Freeway, and keeps it clean.
Right.
Puts her name up on a stick there.
This wall protected by her.
This wall?
Well, they clean the walls or this
Huh?
stretch of highway, whatever.
Oh, wall. Just giving you a hard time. I've never seen the wall part.
I thought that's what it said.
All right, here in, I don't know what you have out where you guys, where anyone who's listening is, but here in L.A., it's such a dump, and people have such low, incredible self-esteem, and they just, people just like change their motor oil and then just dump it out of their car while it's moving. As a matter of fact, the way most people change their motor oil is just to take the plug off the oil pan and drive around the block once.
Nice.
Leave a nice racing stripe down the street, and then they go ahead and replace it. So what we have to do is we have to get celebrities who, for one reason or another, don't have their name out in enough places. I'm not sure why they do it, but celebrities will buy stretches of highway, adopt stretches of highway. They'll put their name up there. I've seen the Bette Midler one a few times. And they will pay for the cost of maintaining and keeping that area clean. I would like to adopt Hymens, the Adam Carolla Hyman Society. Drew, what are you writing down there?
Nothing.
Okay. Adopt a... Okay. Please, Drew. And don't write on that thing with the indelible marker. Anyway, should we get back to the calls, Drew?
Please.
I'm falling apart here. Who do we have? What was that? I can't say that. Lee, you're 17.
Yeah.
You think you have a brain tumor.
So you said you were hearing things that were not there, is that correct?
Yeah, well, I have headaches on one side of my brain, on the right side of my brain. And they come in and out. It's just like one, and it'll stay there for a while. And it's like I take Tylenol. I have an anti-inflammatory that the doctor's given me, naproxen. And he says it's good for headaches also.
So you've been evaluated for these headaches?
No, actually I haven't. I told him about them, and I have bumps on my head, but he said that's probably just my lymph nodes.
Right. And so tell me again what the symptoms
Hold on. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Cincinnati.
He means what kind of environment do you find yourself in at this moment?
What's that?
It sounds like you're standing by a freeway, a highway.
It's train tracks.
Train tracks.
Okay.
It's a good bet.
Maybe he does have a tumor.
Tell me more. What else are you experiencing?
Well, I see white dots. They almost look like flies, and they just go right by me.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll come and go, kind of like the headaches will. Then I'll be driving in my car, and I'll hear something like hit the back of the car.
Mm-hmm.
I know nothing's there to hit the back of the car, and it's not like the car's backfiring or anything. I know it's not doing
You ever
anything.
do LSD?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that could be something.
That could have something to do with it. These white dots you see flying around, do they occur just before the headaches?
I'm not too sure.
Well, the thing that fits most likely with what you're describing is migraines. Just true migraines, maybe with something going on related to your LSD exposure.
Well, so he probably doesn't have a tumor.
Probably does not, but obviously it should be checked. I mean, I can't say what he does not have based on what he said so far.
Oh, boy. He's calling from a train station.
Yeah.
There's a lot of train noise going on in the background. Where are you calling from? Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
I think they really know. They must know this cannot be coincidence. I've now down. I'm going to upgrade our listeners. I used to label them as moronic. I'm now upgrading them to diabolical.
Mm-hmm.
It's
because
just,
they actually know. They know what you're looking
They're
for.
They're super geniuses.
Yes.
They compute that, and they have such acute senses, and they're so in tune with my personality and the inflection of my voice, and they know what I'm going for.
They want to thwart the question.
Yes.
Put you off the track.
They're like those that kid from the Twilight Zone that wished everyone into the cornfield. They play sort of young and stupid, but they're really diabolical.
Right.
Right. So you could stand under Niagara Falls, and when I said, "Oh boy, where are you right now?" you could say Buffalo. Right.
Right.
All right. All right. Go get a CAT scan?
Yeah. MRI.
Emily.
Yes.
What's going on there, you little 23-year-old?
I don't know. Nothing big.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just don't ever want to have sex ever. Really, not really interested.
Great.
So there it is.
Are you on any medications?
I had been on Zoloft. I had a really difficult pregnancy.
It was a pregnancy recently?
I had the baby on the 6th of December, 96. So.
Have you noticed this drop in your sex drive since the baby?
Yes.
Have you been menstruating normally?
Not really.
Are you still breastfeeding?
No.
When did you get off the Zoloft?
Oh, like March.
Why aren't you breastfeeding?
Well, I had a really big boy, and he wasn't happy with it. He wanted more. He's greedy, and I just couldn't produce enough.
Well, there's a number of possibilities. One is it's not that uncommon for women after pregnancy to have a drop in their sex drive. Your hormones just don't turn back on. In fact, getting on an oral contraceptive pill can sometimes restore some of your...
what do you need sex drive for? You just had a kid.
I understand.
It's enough.
Right, no, but listen to this, though. I had been on Norplant for like 2 years before I had the baby.
Yeah.
And you know what? The progesterone just made me crazy, crazy, crazy. I was a crazy woman. And I just want to stay away from the contraceptives.
All right.
You know, they're hormonal because I'm just scared they'll make me wacko.
Okay. Being on the Zoloft can shut off your sex drive, but that should have come back after you got off the Zoloft. Having persistent postpartum depression can screw with your sex drive. So maybe you're still depressed and not really...
That's what concerns me. If it is a depression, it's a real sneaky one because I'm not functional. I was very not functional before, but now I seem to be okay that way.
Those are the most obvious possibilities for me. And the other maybe just, maybe you don't have the right, you're preoccupied and tired and you're raising a kid. I mean, it's a lot different.
Here's